Hi. I mean, I have some hobbies, but there's just some hobbies that I don't really like. That kind of gets on my nerves a bit. Like knitting. Like I don't really get it. I don't like it.
My grandma tried teaching me how to knit when I was like 10 maybe, and I absolutely hated it. I couldn't sit still enough to do it. My hands weren't like cooperating. It was just hard for a 10-year-old to do it. So I just never picked it up ever again until last year because I was bored.
My name is Mia and I'm from Norway. So in Norwegian it's called håndarbeid, and it kind of covers like everything you do with a thread and needles basically. My grandmother always, like whenever she was sitting down, she would always be knitting. And my aunt also, she's more of a crochet person, and she taught me how to crochet, and it kind of went off from there. Almost every one of my friends from Norway knows how to knit and make sweaters and stuff. And here it's kind of like, oh, you're an old lady. I think it was my mom who taught me to knit. Like she taught me the basics, and then YouTube taught me the rest. It was definitely more of a, or less of a hobby before, or back in the day when my grandma used to knit, for example. Irony is, though, today it's more expensive to knit your own sweater than to buy one, which I find really, really frustrating. It sounds silly, but like I like to think that old people appreciate young people learning how to do these things that they had to do. I was sitting at the train station once, waiting for my train after work, and I had my embroidery stuff with me, and there was this old lady sitting at the table across from me, and she was looking at me and smiling the entire time, and yeah, I don't know. I felt like I was doing something important in a way. It sounds silly, but...
I do have a few hobbies, but I often like to reminisce back to one of my favourite hobbies as a young and excitable whippersnapper. Me and my cousins, when we were around my nana's house, which was quite often, we would explore my nana's closet, and that's not a euphemism, by the way. We would have competition of who could find the biggest knitting needles, and it was usually me. I knew where all the best ones were kept, and we would then proceed to have sword fights with those. It's been a long time, too long, since I've had a good old knitting needle sword fight, but yeah, apart from that I like to rock climb. So I crocheted some reusable toilet paper. You can use these once, twice maybe if it's a good one, and then chuck them in the washing machine and you're good to go. Fresh as a daisy.